In today's video I want to talk about stem cells. Is it hype or hope? We have to decide. And of course very much hope for rejuvenation is related to stem cells. And let's go into this and understand the possibilities. Okay, then stem cells are undifferentiated and differentiated cells. Each of us humans developed the result of procreation of single stem cells. And we still have many stem cells in all tissues, while especially many of them are inside the long bones in the so-called marrow. The function of stem cells in our body is to produce blood cells, cells of the immune system, and as well as replace damaged and dead cells in the body. Stem cells differ in the degree of the differentiation. The lowest category is progenitor cells, which specialize in replacing cells in a particular type of the tissue, and above them stem cells are not differentiated in the body, and they can migrate inside our body with the bloodstream and develop locally to get transformed locally to the progenitor cells. And the highest category of stem cells is the germ cell. Okay, then this is again, please, I want to ask you to download presentation with references, with pictures, and then to read instead of listening to me. It will save your time, and you probably will understand the subject better if you will follow references, the links, and read the sources. But also it is just better to have this material printed or in your notebook or cell telephone. And then, because this is quite important subject about the stem cells. Okay, this is a real, was much hope, and we yet have hope that we can rejuvenate with the stem cells. Okay, here schematically we see this germ cell, and they can divide to this progenitor cells, which are not differentiated stem cells, and these not differentiated stem cells, they can again procreate, they can divide into get again then not differentiated cell, or they can they can transform, or they can produce different the special differentiated cell, which will replace damaged or cells in tissue. They are already specialized for every tissue. And then they can get transformed to the tissue, the somatic cells. Okay, this is the hierarchy of the cells. And again, as we developed from single cell, we yet have potential to rejuvenate our body completely. But so let's go to this potential. Let's understand how it works and can we use it. Okay, as I said, the stem cells can replace any cells in our tissue, or they can increase the volume of the tissue, the number of cells of the tissue, like in muscles. And in blood cells, they always produce a lot of new cells when all the cells are destroyed. And then even in our brain, we have stem cells in our brain, and of course activity of these stem cells is not as good as in young age or in infancy, but yet we can produce some neurons, even neurons in our brain. So it is again, it is not so that we can develop some better brain in principle, but in principle again, let's go and to think how to do it. Okay, then again, if replacement of the old, dead, and damaged cells would always work the same way as at a young age, then we would never grow old, we will never age. But with the chronological aging, stem cells somehow themselves are aging. What means aging of the stem cells? The length of telomeres in the chromosomes gets shorter. The rate of production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate molecules, energy molecules in mitochondria decreases, and therefore they slow down the rate of this procreation of divisions and their activity. They move not so active, yeah? And taken together, this leads to decrease in the ability of organs and tissues to heal themselves. It is surprising that, again, it is quite surprising that potentially immortal stem cells and even more so young such cells which are recently appeared. I mean, they are just appeared recently, and in old organisms they somehow exhibit properties that are common for senescent cells, not zombie cells, but cells which are close to this transition to the zombie state. So, and they are not active, and all the problems of the senescent cells. And as shown in experiments, infusion of blood plasma from young mice to old mice rejuvenates the entire body of the animals, including stem cells. Again, it is quite interesting. We change the environment, and then stem cells rejuvenate. We will go further what means rejuvenation of the stem cells. And so conversely, infusion of blood plasma from old mice to young ones leads to their accelerated aging. So again, environment that rules the aging of the stem cells. How? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go into it. And there are also experiments with not only stem cells but somatic cells from old mice get rejuvenated after transplantation into the body of young mice. So what was the experiment? The researchers took muscle cells from old mice and from young mice, and then make the transplantation to young mice. And in the young mice, then after a while, they check the activity of these transplanted cells. They are completely the same. They behave completely the same. So even somatic cells in new environment, in some young environment, they get somehow younger. They rejuvenate. So that again, they saw no difference from cells transplanted from young mice to the other young mice, and vice versa. Therefore, therapy based on stem cell transplantation or injection usually does not lead to significant rejuvenation of the body. So if we take stem cells from your body and then to grow numbers of these stem cells in laboratory, so you can grow, give them food and proper environment, they will grow in numbers, they procreate, and then this big number of the stem cells you can inject in your body. It will work, but not for long and not so much, despite our hope that it will rejuvenate the body. So indeed, after transplantation, stem cells age themselves instead of rejuvenation the entire body. So it works for a while, for a short while, but then the body returns to this chronological age or biological age which was before. But it was a hype. It was very popular. In 70s of the last century, members of the Politburo of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Soviet Union were receiving such injections regularly, but didn't help them much. As I said in previous videos, the level of our biological age is set by some kind of built-in clock, and the synchronization of the age of tissues throughout the body is provided by signal proteins in the blood plasma and also intercellular fluids. But mechanism of the production and the composition of this signal molecules is not quite well understood. So, well, but again, the technology exists. It is quite complicated, and this looks barbaric, that this is a sucking of marrow from bones and then transplanting these stem cells together with marrow to some sick patients, sick people. Again, it may work. For example, so after the chemotherapy after cancer, and the people, the marrow can be completely destroyed. So they use this transplantation of healthy marrow from younger people to the bones instead to replace the dead tissue. And it works, but it is not so long. Again, the patients after such procedure can live maybe 5 years in average. So again, this treatment of the cancer, it is not curing. It is just extending your suffering. So think twice before you will take chemotherapy, or you will think about that it is curing. It is not curing. It is extension of your suffering, maximum 15 years. It is also accelerated aging. compare with what you was before the chemotherapy and this treatment for cancer. Okay, then again, but technology exists, it is very expensive, up to 50,000 American dollars, so I would never agree to it. Yeah. Apparently the number of so-called zombie cells in the body, or senescent cells in the body, and their activity in the production of this SASP, senescent associated secretive phenotype, this is signaling molecules, complex of signaling molecules, are a part of such clock. It is a part, but it is not all. Indeed, the transfer of zombie cells from old mice to young mice led to their accelerated aging of, so young mice got accelerated aging because this SASP changed the signal, the composition of the signal molecules, and then this gives a command that all cells should behave as older ones. Okay, then and vice versa, and a decrease in the number of zombie cells with senolytics rejuvenates the body and extend the lifespan by average 36%. But again, be careful, because this experiments in mice are living not so long, and to extend the life of short-living animals, it is relatively easy. And will it work for humans or not? We will discuss it later. It is yet not demonstrated. We don't know. Well, but and as I said in previous videos, another part of the built-in clock is an increase in the stiffness of the extracellular matrix. That's ECM, yeah? And due to the cross-linking of collagen and elastin molecules with simple sugars, this fructose and glucose mostly. And perhaps it is this stiffness of the extracellular matrix that sets the number of zombie cells and the level of chronic inflammation of tissue in the body. So it is probably, and we will discuss it, that it is part of the clock. Part of the clock. Indeed, zombie cells from old mice get rejuvenated after they are transplanted into the environment that mimics the higher elasticity, low stiffness of the extracellular matrix. They can get rejuvenated the same as somatic cells or zombie, even senescent cells. Senescent cells, if we transfer them to laboratory, some medium, some environment which is elastic, highly elastic, then we will get rejuvenation of the senescent cells. Senescent cells, or I mean the zombie cells, they get normal. They almost completely rejuvenate after such procedure. So it is likely that such connection explains the rejuvenation of the body with the use of senolytics. That is depends on the reduced number of the zombie cells, but again, it works only for a while, not for long. I was doing such experiment on myself, and I will tell you that this rejuvenation is especially good after the treatment. 5 days after treatment, you feel yourself like a baby. You want to dance, you want to move, and endurance is very high. But in 2 months, about 2 months, it goes almost to the same level as before, almost. So again, I was thinking, and I working on how to extend this and how to make it permanent rejuvenation. This is not easy. I don't have yet a solution. But again, let's think about this together. Interestingly, stem cells are also release signaling molecules that can change the signal of the biological clock in our body. And recently published articles, you can follow the reference, the link, shows that adipose-derived stem cells regulate metabolic homeostasis and slow down aging by promoting mitophagy, that is mitochondrial renewal in neighboring cells. Again, aging is very much activity of mitochondria. You have many mitochondria, they produce these ATP molecules, you have high metabolic rate, and you feel yourself younger. And it is telomeric length of telomeres in chromosomes. It is another point, so it is used as to measure the age of the cells, because it's relatively easy to measure in laboratory by these developed techniques. But again, we can see it that if we take stem cells from adipose tissue, increase number of these cells in laboratory conditions, and then to inject them both, we will see that this signal from stem cells, they change environment somehow. They change environment, and the other cells, they get rejuvenated only by these signal molecules. And this is again an amazing discovery, and people are thinking how to produce these signal molecules. Maybe it will be some kind of treatment of the elders. I don't know. Okay, it is in the process. And as researchers have shown, the case is neither the stem cells themselves, so the stem cells are not replacing damaged cells, but they release special signal molecules. And it is not published yet. What are the signal molecules from these stem cells? It is not known, but it is something, some substances. And together, composition of the signal molecules gives us the biological age of the body. So we can assume that not only number of zombie cells in the activity and secretion of this SASP, but number of and activity of stem cells in the body are involved in the mechanism of biological age, or biological clock. That is, molecules of both types of cells synchronize the biological age of all organisms. It is amazing that, again, you have some young cells which are maybe a few days old, but they behave like they should behave in old organism, in old body. This is synchronizing. This is synchronizing by some clock. And clock work, these signals are going by chemicals, by these signal molecules. Here, okay, then here it is some schematical presentation how the zombie cells appear and what they secrete and how they work with other. We discussed it in previous video, so you know it. Okay, then again, stem cell transplantation procedure or other methods of increasing the number of stem cells in the body can contribute to partial rejuvenation, can. But the cost and complexity of the stem cell transplantation procedure is too high. As I said, it is up to 50,000 American dollars. If you take from adipose tissue, it can be 5,000 American dollars, but again, it is too much. And again, you have to repeat it, it doesn't work for long. So, the question is, are there any other available ways to reduce the number of zombie cells and the level of SASP from zombie cells while simultaneously increasing the number of stem cells and signaling molecules from the stem cells? Yeah, apparently they are. I think there are such methods, and there are publications which prove this. For example, calorie restriction in experimental animals and physical activity in humans have been shown that to reduce levels of this SASP. They didn't measure number of the germ cells, I mean the stem cells, and but yet it is again some indications that the biological clock changed just by physical activity. Calorie restriction in mammalian diet leads to stem cells rejuvenation. This is again another publication which demonstrates that yes, here we can measure age of stem cells, and we can measure length of the telomeres, and then this again calorie restriction works and to rejuvenate the stem cells. And possibly again we will discuss it later. There is other subject with the stiffness of the extracellular matrix, and probably calorie restriction somehow change the stiffness of the extracellular matrix. We don't know the mechanism, so it is not clear, but some interesting indication. So this is from publication picture, and it shows that 3 months of physical activity considerably improved performances of the old people, and but of course it's better to do it always, not 3 months only, but always, all the life. In the recent publication, you can follow the link and read it. the authors provide an overview of existing methods for rejuvenation stem cells in the mammalian brain. It is in brain, as I said, in brain we have these stem cells in brain, and then cognitive ability is improving. So somehow these stem cells may rejuvenate, may also produce neurons, because improving cognitive abilities, it is complicated matter, but it may include generation and appearing or increase number of neurons. The positive effects of calorie restriction in the diet and low carbohydrate diet, physical activity, intermittent fasting, longer fasting, that's like 2-3 times a month, like fasting 48 hours, 36 hours, and as well as blood plasma transfusion from young individuals, all these methods work to get some rejuvenation of stem cells. In another publication, you can read it, and it's quite recent, the authors note that partial rejuvenation of stem cells in mice, in muscles, this time it is in muscles, is as a result of moderate exercise. Again, just as I said, it was a review, big review, and with all the possible methods to rejuvenate, and in particular for exercise, yes, it works for muscles. So again, another publication, there was discussion how to increase number of stem cells and as a result of starvation. It's a very interesting publication. Despite it is not about humans, it is about flatworms. It is the planaria. Planaria, it is such creatures which are worms. And these worms are known for their ability to regenerate organs and tissues, as well as by the fact that the number of stem cells in young creatures, young worms, is about 25 up to 25% of the total number of cells in the body. It is amazing how many these stem cells they have. And with prolonged starvation, what is happening? Part of the somatic cells die as a result of apoptosis. They commit suicide in order to ensure the survival of the organism. So they provide nutrients to the rest of the body, to the rest of the organism. But stem cells don't, they just stay. And while the relative proportion of stem cells increases because they stay and somatic cells die, and so this number of stem cells increases. Relatively, not completely, relatively. At the same time, telomeres in stem cells are recovered in length. So what is interesting, they are starving, and stem cells which were measured, the age was measured, as the telomeres were shorter, and then it is somehow this telomerase, the enzyme which produce longer telomeres, they get activated, and then all the stem cells get younger and when the feeding is resumed, the stem cells procreate rapidly and support the growth of the organism. At the same time, the length of the telomeres gets shorter. So when they divide quickly, they procreate, and the telomeres get shorter, so that we can say it is the stem cells are getting older, so they are aging. Again, it is quite good, interesting observations, and it gives us a hypothesis that fasting and calorie restriction, I don't think it works for humans, but fasting and may modulate mTOR signal, so ignite the autophagy, mitophagy, and then it may promote stem cells rejuvenation, and what is more important, somehow stiffness of the extracellular matrix may be changed. How it works, I don't know. But again, there is no clear research about this, but we have a suspicion that as behavior of stem cells relates to stiffness of the extracellular matrix, then probably during fasting, then macrophages or somehow they try to use any junk in the body, in the cells, and in particular in the extracellular matrix, they probably try to destroy these molecules of not elastin, but this molecules in the extracellular matrix, and then it is stiffness somehow reduced. So it is getting more elastic somehow. How it's again, it needs some more detailed research, but I just have such suspicions that it works so, and because the age of stem cells and stiffness of the extracellular matrix are related, obviously related. So collagen is we will discuss it later. So it the role of collagen. Okay. So this is the schematic, probably schematic of the this experiments. The planaria, these worms. If they starving, if they are fasting for 2 months, then they are shrinking in size because somatic cells, they commit suicide, they provide nutrients to the rest of the body, but stem cells stay. But stem cells, what is interesting, this red color, it is young stem cells, green, it is old, yeah, with short telomeres. And when they are starving, somehow the number of stem cells does not change much, but they get rejuvenated. It probably extracellular matrix also gets more elastic, yeah. So this collagen, probably cross-linked collagen, or maybe excessive amount of collagen get destroyed. But when food is provided and then body grows very quick, then the stem cells procreate and they have after a while shorter telomeres. So you see, but we can think that this use of the fasting, intermittent fasting or fasting a few times a month probably will work so the same for humans, but it needs a research, but just speculation probably that it may help to rejuvenate our body. Okay, possibilities and prospects of the reversing of or slowing down aging using stem cells are discussed in the such article. You can go to the link. And at the same time, the author points out that signaling molecules can be used to regenerate stem cells and regenerate tissues and organs. Yes, so we know this experiment that blood plasma from young individuals make rejuvenation in old individuals. Yes, it works. And then, but these signal molecules can be somehow probably synthesized, or maybe they can be extracted from blood plasma of young individuals, so to rejuvenate old ones. However, this technology may increase the risk of developing cancer, and so more research is needed before clinical trials. So even the people who discovered this phenomena, they hesitate to use it on themselves. It is interesting that there are some biohackers who tried to do it and they got rejuvenation, but it is again not for long. Not for long. It was certainly some improvement in health. These biohackers from Russia tried it because this is established technology in principle. So they did it, and but again there was there was short while. This rejuvenation didn't work for long. In addition, the limits of body rejuvenation uses such technology are not yet fully understood. It's again, we don't know how long it will work. And and also these authors of this article, they refer to work previously to some other research where it is shown that aging of stem cells is determined by the environment and the biological age of the tissues. Again, to rejuvenate the body, it is necessary to to combine cell rejuvenation with tissue rejuvenation and a change in this composition of signal molecules. So again, if we just make this plasma infusion work for short while, we somehow have to change environment. We have to make tissue more elastic. How to do it? It is big question. I believe this should be main direction of the research, and I tried in myself to go a little bit more in this subject, and because again I want to refer the publication of Russian scientists, this in principle Alexander Fedintsev, and in this article I was given the reference in previous video. In this article the authors argue that increased extracellular matrix stiffness is the main mechanism of human aging. This again, these people this article, you better read it. It is really, really good article, but they make a conclusion that for now, rejuvenation is impossible. That even senolytics can be dangerous, can shorten our life. So they say no. It is maximum work what we can get at 120 years, and we just can slow down aging, but we cannot rejuvenate body. For now. But again, I believe that it is, even for now, we can do it. There are methods, but we have to invest some money and time and to this ways to improve the elasticity of the tissues, to get rejuvenated our body, and especially rejuvenate skin and hairs and all the tissues. And I try to do it, I'm stay focused in this direction, but unfortunately I don't have enough money to do it. But so the progress goes slowly, and nobody supports me. But well, okay, this is what we have, no problem. Again, how stiffness appears. I already discussed it in previous videos, that sugars, simple sugars, and also peroxidation products of unsaturated fatty acids can react with proteins and provide chemical cross-linking of the molecules, in particular collagen and elastin molecules, similar to the vulcanization of rubber with sulfur atoms. So they get stiff with the cross-link, and then getting solid, almost solid. And product of this reaction, they have a name, advanced glycation products, and also lipoproteins, oxidized lipoproteins. They oxidize by peroxides. Again, if you consume polyunsaturated fatty acids, what you are getting? You are getting this lipofusin and the lipoproteins, and accumulation of these lipoproteins in your brain, and you have Alzheimer, etc., etc. So, and this is one of the mechanisms of the accelerated aging. Okay, other mechanisms for increasing of this extracellular stiffness are excessive collagen production and calcification of the connective tissues and capillary walls. That is conversion of the extracellular matrix is the bone tissue. Again, let's go in this, because this is again happens in our body. So both collagen and elastin molecules themselves and products of the glycation are extremely stable, extremely. The half-life of elastin molecules is compatible to that of humans. So if they somehow and since the synthesis, this is important, synthesis of elastin molecules occurs only during fetal development and infancy. The elastin content in tissues, especially in the wall of blood vessels, decrease over time. This is what they postulate, that it is impossible to rejuvenate body because we are losing elastin. And decrease in the amount of elastin in turn increases the collagen content, because how body reacts that we have less elastin molecules, these specialized cells, they produce more collagen. And if you consume some collagen supplements, it makes no good. I tell you, it makes no good, because you can create more collagen, but then your skin will be like a skin of pigs. Very tough, and then not elastic, because human skin and the skin of pigs different, different, and we better again be careful about this collagen supplements. And as I said, decrease in amount of elastin increases the collagen content and stiffness of the extracellular matrix, since collagen has higher elastic modulus. So it is collagen is 100 or even 1,000 times more stiff than elastin. Collagen is not making your skin elastic. Not making elastin. You need elastin molecules. So it again because of this depletion of the elastin, there is opinion that decrease in the amount of the elastin limits the lifespan of people for a time like 100-120 years. But again, stiffness goes everywhere, even in our brain, in nerve fibers. And both, again, the collagen, elastin molecules, and products of glycations are extremely stable. I did it? No, sorry, I make it twice. Oh, sorry. Okay, then this is schematically presented what can happen with aging, because they claim that aging is a product of this glycation, of this stiffness. And two mechanisms. One is we're losing elastin, and second, the collagen gets cross-linked and more collagen. And another one where we can go a little bit more details. Okay, then, and then zombie cells can multiply also due to increase in tissue stiffness. That is tissue fibrosis. Lung fibrosis and kidney fibrosis are extremely dangerous degenerative diseases, and you will die because you cannot breathe. Lungs are getting not elastic, and you cannot filtrate your blood with fibrosis of the kidneys. It is extremely dangerous, and the mechanism is this: tissue stiffness, increase in tissue stiffness. So, what increase in the stiffness of the extracellular matrix during wound healing, it is natural process actually. In the wound healing, healthy cells get transformed into zombie cells in order to limit the activity of some specialized cells, as fibroblasts. They produce collagen. They produce collagen to heal the wound. It's good, but if they produce too much, then otherwise during wound healing, extensive scars will form, big areas filled with connective tissue. We should not do it, and if you have scars, they should not be very big. Yeah, and this what is happening, the fibrosis. So our lungs, lungs of humans, some humans, and also kidneys are getting this with a lot of collagen inside. So then zombie cells actually, they slow down production of the collagen, and they also produce the signal molecules SASP. And what is happening? Tissue inflammation. Tissue inflammation in case of the wound healing, it is good, because we have dilation of capillary vessels, increasing the delivery of oxygen and nutrients with the blood, so healing goes quicker. But also it attracts leukocytes and macrophages. Macrophages gradually destroy zombie cells and stop tissue inflammation, so we are getting completely healed, and the scars are not so big again. So it is again zombie cells are natural reaction of our body to heal the wounds and to so it is good, in principle good, but the zombie cells should not grow in numbers. So and this again, with the use of senolytics, the rate of tissue stiffening can increase in all tissues of the body. So then we will get the fibrosis, a higher rate of this fibrosis in lungs and other tissues, and it may even lead to it will lead to appearance to this zombie cells throughout the body. And then if we have too many zombie cells, then we have chronic tissue inflammation and accelerated aging, because it grows like explosion, the chain reaction. With chronic inflammation of tissue, zombie cells are formed and even larger quantities, numbers, and macrophages cannot cope with the task to destroy them. So because we have not so many macrophages, and if zombie cells, in case of chronic inflammations, are too many, they just kill you. And so and eventually it leads to death. But it was originally the increase in tissue stiffness that led to beginning of the chain reaction of the process of degradation of the organism. So again, slow increase in stiffness produce, in opinion of these researchers, produce higher number of zombie cells. And if number of zombie cells is too high, then macrophages cannot cope with these numbers, and then we have explosion and death. But again, if somehow we change elasticity of the tissue, for example, elasticity of the skin can be improved by injection of hyaluronic fillers. This is technology which is not clinically approved, but it is used and it works. Somehow it works again, but there are some limitations in this. So in this way, the stem cells in the aging human skin retain their abilities to stay functional, and the improvement in appearance, resistance to stress, and the ability to heal skin wounds may be achieved. Again, this technology works. So they produce these injections, and if it is together with stem cells injection or without, even local stem cells can be activated, rejuvenated, because it corresponds to higher elasticity. This long molecules hyaluronic acid, they work the same as elastin, the same, but have a problem. That let's see how it works. Okay, then an increase in tissue stiffness, and again, leads to the fact that movement of macrophages and stem progenitor cells between somatic cells is impeded. So accordingly, the rate of tissue regeneration and the rate of removal of zombie cells and pathogens from tissues is reduced. So it is chain reaction. Macrophages and stem cells can become trapped between the tough collagen fibers and may die. And then when macrophages die, pro-inflammatory cytokines are released, and mast cells release histamine, and this histamine, it is pro-inflammatory substance, and at the same time level of chronic tissue inflammation increases, so it's again chain reaction. So, and because chronic tissue inflammation leads to degradation, and this is limitation. Again, if you have chronic inflammation, this leads to degradation of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and it further increases in stiffness. So this this procedure gives some rejuvenation, but not for long. Every few months. I would not recommend to use it because it's again expensive. But people do it. People with money and do it, and for a while it gives some better appearance. But breakdown products of the hyaluronan, this is a hyaluronic acid, it actually can stimulate this inflammation. So we have again this that they can be destroyed due to inflammation, and they increase inflammation, a chain reaction, then you probably will ruin your skin. As a result of the increase in the rigidity or stiffness of the extracellular matrix, the walls of capillaries and the continuity of the epithelium layer in the intestine becomes damaged because the integrity of the cell-to-cell connection is disrupted. Because of this, leaky gut syndrome develops, as well as the integrity of the barriers which protects our brain from blood is disrupted. So all this Alzheimer may develop, and elastin is the dominant protein in arterial wall, and it accounts for 50% of the dry matter in young subjects, in young people. This ensures that elasticity of the vessels, and elasticity, again, if you have elastic vessels, elastic capillaries, then everything good. And because it was proven that elastin deficient mice have high blood pressure and increased arterial stiffness. I speculate that if you have low blood pressure and your heart working well, then probably I expect that this is indication that the arterial walls and the walls of capillaries are getting somehow elastic. So again, in time, with age, with chronological age, elastin breaks down as a result of reaction with this oxidized lipoproteins and not saturated fatty acids. They get breakdown. So if you consume this seed oils, then you will get this oxidized fatty acids, and they react with elastin, destroy it, and elastin is replaced by collagen, because this is normal reaction of the body. So elastin is replaced by collagen. But as collagen has 1,000 times higher Young modulus than elastin, then you get stiffness instead of elasticity. So again, increase in tissue stiffness and also in stiffness of extracellular matrix. When it happens, a number of degenerative processes occur, in particular the aging of stem cells and slowing down of the rate of tissue regeneration. I explained why it is happening. Stem cells cannot move in the extracellular matrix. And in some mammals, this, for example, as a bowhead whale, the rate of this degradation somehow slower than in humans. I don't know why. Maybe temperature, maybe diet. I don't know, but it is it is so. And this ensures these animals has a lifespan more than 200 years. Therefore, we can hope for a significant extension of the lifespan without rejuvenation. We can just slow down aging, but somehow what we can do, if we reduce rate of this stiffness, increase in stiffness, and then these people say no, rejuvenation is not possible with stem cells because of this stiffness of the extracellular matrix. This is the real engine of the aging. So this increase in stiffness makes stem cells old and makes them senescent, so they're not active any longer. And then we have to find some way, or maybe some enzymes and dietary supplements that at least can reduce rate of this degradation and rate of aging. Maybe, again, what we know is that quercetin inhibits the formation of these advanced glycation products and in increase in the hardness of the extracellular matrix. So quercetin as a dietary supplement may work. Maybe something else like berberine, I don't know. Again, it needs some research. But quercetin work to slow down the formation of this stiffness. And some long publication, the authors discuss the prospects of finding enzymes that can break down the chemical bonds between collagen and sugar. They didn't discuss elastin, only collagen, because the dominant idea that collagen gets this stiffness because of collagen, but actually another that's a subject that overproduction of collagen is the matter also. So when collagen replaces elastin. And in recent publication, in addition to breaking the cross-linking of collagen material, elasticity can be destroyed due to synthesis of elastin. Yes, okay, this is the idea that we can restore the elasticity, but somehow to produce synthesis. But how to produce, nobody knows yet. So there are some probably some enzymes or probably some dietary supplements which can make some influence, and we can probably force the production of elastin, despite it is only limited in time, infancy and childhood. So it is again, in my opinion, that we have to use enzymes and autophagy, so self-cleaning of cells, and during the self-cleaning of cells, probably macrophages, they consume some molecules of collagen, and this replacement of the collagen gets quicker, and then stiffness of the tissue may be reduced. And also, what is important, we have to remove oxidized lipoproteins, lipofuscins, and some products of the glycation reaction from the cells themselves. How to replace it, I was explaining in previous videos that if we have some enzymes which are very, very potent, more than we have in our body, then the macrophages can get these enzymes from our guts, because they are then migrate to somewhere to our tissues, especially with bloodstream, and then with the bloodstream and with this very potent enzymes in the lipoprotein in lysosomes, they can break down lipoproteins, they can break down lipofuscins, and somehow clean our body from this oxidized lipoproteins also. So it's probably a way to clean our body if we have this especially strong enzymes. So again, I believe that not only slowing down the rate of aging, but some rejuvenation can be achieved if we use it all together, senolytics, enzymes, and supplements, and which slow down the rate of increase of stiffness. And I already made a video, and you can see presentation in English, that the use of enzymes that wax moth larva produces, it's very strong enzymes, they can drastically reduce blood pressure. I tried it on myself. My blood pressure went from 120 to 80, 120 to 80. Now I have, it went even 90 to 50, diastolic pressure was 50. So previously was 80 and now 50, and heart rate reduced, so from 60 beats per minute to less than 50. So, and I have improved endurance. So it is some indications that the drop in the diastolic pressure, it is indications that my capillaries get more elastic. It is not only my observation, it's some other people also make research in this product, and they claim the same. Okay, let's go with it, because it is this product, this extract from this larva. It comprises not only these ferments, but also bacteria and fungi, and which can digest not only wax but even polyethylene. They break down even polyethylene. No, not to mention this lipofuscin and the lipoproteins. No, it's easy for these enzymes. So in addition to enzymes, this extract contains many proteins, including 9 essential amino acids and also flavonoids, substances which are active, like quercetin, berberine, and also they have fatty acids and macro and micro elements. So I make this extract, and I make it two ways. First, I collect this residues from larvae, from development of larvae. I collect it, and first I make extraction by honey. It is like in this biological reactor. So I crush the honeycombs and mix it with this product, with this waste product, and then give it 2-3 weeks to stay at temperature which is close to the temperature in the hive, in the beehive, and about 38 degrees centigrade. And then it's certainly color of honey change to dark red color. Also the flavor change. I think it is getting richer, and I believe that it should help, and I consume it myself. And I believe that this should be expensive product, because if it works, and it works, it is not only for me. I gave it to some acquaintances, so some people who asked me, and I gave them this product, and they used it for about the same time, like 6 months. And in this time, in 6 months, they got from very high blood pressure to normal pressure. They have already normal blood pressure. And so it works even, and all the people than me. I am 64, this person was 76, and big improvement in his health. So I believe it should be expensive, but somehow I cannot sell it here. I cannot sell it in Thailand because it's prohibited for me. I am foreigner, I cannot sell anything in Thailand, so I use it only like for test. Again, Russian researchers demonstrated that this extract from larva heals tuberculosis. Heals scars. Again, it's scars from previous heart attack. So again, if it is dissolving scars, and scars consist from collagen. So probably this is what I assume, that if scars disappear in the tissue of heart, then what is happening, then probably these ferments destroy the collagen, and they reduce the amount of collagen. Yeah. So this is my idea, and I believe that this is what I got in my capillaries. So the capillaries got more elastic. Was the number of elastin, amount of elastin increased? I don't know. I cannot check it. I don't have a laboratory. I don't have any funds to support this research. But again, I just speculate. But who knows? Again, only problem that to see improvement and rejuvenation my skin and hair, it takes time. It takes time because one point is rejuvenate your blood vessels. It may go very quick, few months, but skin takes longer because blood circulates not so quick in the skin, and then it will take probably 2-3 years or longer. I don't know, but I should see some improvement maybe in time. I hope so. And then again, this extract is antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory, and it lowers blood pressure. Again, blood pressure, blood sugar, and blood pressure, and improves microcirculations in capillaries, removes the formation of blood clots. Again, so it's again even it removes heavy metals like mercury from the body. So it should be useful. But again, I was thinking years ago to make some production of it, because it's large scale production. But again, I failed because first I lost this space. Somehow it is happening in my life, and also no customers. For now, I have no customers, and I cannot sell it because I was thinking my wife will help me. No, she just said she understands nothing. She don't want to participate. All my businesses were destroyed, and now I am on my own. But probably it is better because I got very serious in this rejuvenation project, and this is my idea to survive all these hard times and then to see better life in future. Again, I use some materials and probably without reference. But I am not getting any financial benefits from posting of this video. I am not violating the patent law. And again, I am not a medical doctor. I am a doctor in physics and with some advanced knowledge in chemistry, and I now learn in biology. I like it so much. And but yet I have no certificate, no paper. I am not a medical doctor. I cannot give any recommendation, medical advice. So you go to your physician and follow his or her professional advice. If you die, like they can advise you to make vaccine, and then you or your baby or your child will die, or your wife will get a miscarriage. Doctors will get no responsibility. You are signing paper. You have no protection from these side effects, from these adverse effects, and all this physicians will recommend you. They are all completely protected. But I just tell you, I'm not a doctor. I don't give any personal recommendation. I just tell you my idea, and it is just education. You decide for yourself. I have no responsibility for your health, and even I can keep some important information secret, because again, nobody supports me, and public is not interested in the rejuvenation. Moreover, we see now that many attempts to reduce population of this planet, to reduce it drastically, maybe 10 times. No, not instantly, but maybe 20-50 years, and maybe in 20-50 years we will get only 1 billion or less than 1 billion people, and all the efforts are to reduce energy consumption. And if we will get energy consumption level which corresponds to 19th century, so before we started to use oil and gas, and now all the talking that we have to stop the use of oil and gas, and then if we have less energy, we cannot, large population cannot be sustained. Okay, this just cannot work. And instead of, again, I was discussing in previous video, instead of development of the nuclear power station, instead of these new technologies which really can give us space, we can go deep to the ocean, we can go outer space, we can procreate, we can, in a large number, we can populate all the galaxy. But instead, okay, it was decided we have to shrink. We can go to this kind of cells, small cells, like in Matrix movie. So we will stay connected with some cables, and we will live in the this virtual reality instead of real reality. So this is probably our future, and I don't like this future. I want to be human. I want to be human, and I want to live longer. And probably again, if such collapse will happen, that it will take hundreds and hundreds years to recover and to get to the same level of comfort and the technology what we have for now. And I want to live it all through. Why not? Why not? This is my motivation to live through and to see better times. Because now situation is such that our children or next generation will not live better than we did. Not better. In future is very dark, and we see this collapse of the free world, the collapse of America under Democrats, and it is scaring. It is scaring me to this. I'm not American, so I moved to Taiwan to escape it. But development is even harder than I was thinking. And even in Taiwan, the people behave like sheep, and they go to this. I don't know, this under complete control of the government. I'm not happy with this at all. And again, if you was patient enough to watch the video, and thank you for your support of the channel, please comment, subscribe, like, ask questions, and share information. Again, I tell you, it all depends on your motivation. Do you want to live long? Do you have any why we should do it? Because it takes time, it takes some efforts, and most of population, most of people live like animals without any thought. They just waste their time in entertainment and watching football games and some songs and social media, which is absolutely brainless communication, brainless information, absolutely not necessary, and they are lazy to go to physical exercises, and they don't want to extend it, the lifespan, because life for them is terrible. It is a disaster. It is disaster. They don't want to continue suffering. They say, okay, we will live for 60 years, no problem, and I better commit a suicide because I have no purpose to live. This what we see in the people, in all the humankind, and and also I was discussed it already. But again, you need motivation. I have such motivation. I would not go into details why, and I want to live long, and but as I said, if you have motivation, if you stay focused, yeah, and you will do what you want and what is necessary for this, you may live very long, very long. I believe that 600 years is not a limit. 900, probably close to 900, and this probably time to see the better future. Maybe in 900 years we will have better future. Maybe in 900 years the humankind will recover and will develop technology to go to the outer space. Maybe, I hope so. Because now it is such a degradation, such disaster is happening that makes me very, very much unhappy, and I cannot say that I'm in heaven in here. Taiwan, a lot of suffering, a lot of also challenging happening in here. But again, this is life. This is life. Take it as it is. And especially I'm Christian, so I'm safe. I have no fear. I have no fear to die. I have no fear to live. But I choose life. I choose life. And I choose that I will work in life and will produce and will be creative person and will create many technologies. I did it already, but again, I didn't get money from this. I'm quite happy with my achievements as a scientist. What I proposed, it was I like it, and it was appreciated by scientific community, but it was not appreciated by government, it was not appreciated by industry. So, and every time when I try to push this technology to mass production, it happens not nice. It's not nice at all. But again, so we need probably such a disaster. We need to clean out our population from some idiots, from some mutants, degenerated mutants, from people who work for very selfish, people who only think about money. Yeah, again, life is not money, and life is not only food and money, and again, we need money, we need food, but life is much more than this, yeah, much more than this. And as a Christian, I believe if there is a limit to life span, it is kind of 900 years, and it is for me enough. 900 years, good, I am ready to live as long as 900 years. Okay, have a wonderful day, ciao.